Hello everyone. My name is Amanda Bach from Boxstar Stamping, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in the United States. And I'm just pulling myself up here on my iPad so I can see your comments. So when you jump on and join me, if you could please say hello, and that way I know you're here and I can say hello to you. Let me get some of this out of the way so you can't see that. All right. Hey, Betty. All right. So good evening. I don't know if it's hot where you are, but wow, it is a little warm where I am. Let's just say I was not made for summer weather. So a little miserable, but that's all right. That's all right. We'll make it thanks to air conditioning, which I did have to turn off for this video because it gets really loud. Okay, so thanks for tuning in tonight. I have some exciting things to show you. The UPS man was just here about 2 hours ago and dropped off my June 1st order of Last Chance products from this catalog right here. So I wanted to show you some things. Well, let's just start with this one. Okay, tonight we will be spending a lot of time on this right here, this lovely bundle, this lovely big collection on page 26 and 27 of the current mini catalog. I challenged myself to use every scrap of paper from the Dandy Garden paper. And I have been spending the last maybe 5-6 days creating cards using this paper, trying to use it all up. And I will just say that, here on page 25, I will just say that I have made so many cards and I still have a ton of paper left. But I wanted to show you these discounts here. All right. So I went ahead and ordered some of them because I didn't have them yet. So look, I have them. This is the Dandy Gardens Memories and More card pack. Yes, it is currently 50% off. It's $5. And look, I haven't even opened it yet. We are going to open it together. So let's see what's in here. For $5, you get a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, let's see what's in here. These are great for cards. They're also great for scrapbooking or journaling. Ooh, and it matches the paper, and the same colors that are in the paper are in, ooh, might have to use that one soon. And look at this. They are double-sided. So the colors are Bumblebee, Mossy Meadow, Calypso Coral, Blackberry Bliss. Ooh, I like that one. And Calypso, oh, Misty Moonlight. Misty Moonlight. All right, so those are the smaller ones. Those are 3x4. And then these are 4x6. Ooh, that would be cute for a recipe, wouldn't it? That had honey in it. Ooh, that would be. These are great for scrapbooking. Again, they are also double-sided. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, what's this? What are these? Look at these. Oh my goodness. I am going to have some fun. I could pair these with the paper that I'm trying to use all up. I have never actually successfully used an entire pack of paper down to the last square inch, and I am challenging myself to use this paper, every last square inch of it. And I have made so many cards over the past few days. So these are the Memories and More, and they're called Memories and More because they were originally designed for scrapbooking and stuff like that. So you can use them, but the more is you can also use them for cards. And I want to show you the Dandy Garden Memories and More cards and envelopes, which I also got 50% off, only $5, and you get 20 cards and 20 envelopes, which I think is quite the deal. Okay, let's look at these. So these are 4x6 cards. Ooh, the envelopes are gorge. Let's see. And the card bases have that on there. Are they all the same? I think they are. Yes, they are. Awesome. Can't wait to get started playing with that. So I'm going to create tons of these with the ones I just bought and got today. So excited about that. So that is one of the things I got, Last Chance products. They're currently available right now, only until supplies last or until June 30th out of this catalog, the current mini catalog. Okay, another product that I have been using and I want to encourage you to get if you don't already have is Happy Thoughts stamp set. It is my go-to sentiment stamp set currently, and I love it. And it is $1 million inspired stamp set, and I love it. I will be using it tonight. All right, so that is on page 28. Another product that I love, it might be my favorite ribbon in this catalog, is the Blackberry Bliss ribbon. I may have ordered a couple of more. I love Blackberry Bliss. It is not on sale, but if you like Blackberry Bliss, it is an amazing ribbon, and I love working with it. And you'll see it on some of the projects I show you tonight. And I just want to say though, if you, ooh, there's a little bug or something. If you like this ice cream paper, it is currently on low inventory. So if you were hoping to get another pack of this ice cream paper, you might want to get on it like now. And the last product I wanted to show you is the Ride the Range on page 68, which was a stamp set and dies, a bundle that I really wanted it, and I don't know why I hadn't ordered it yet, but I did. And the dies are 50% off. So don't order the bundle because it's actually cheaper to order the stamp set and the dies separately than it is to order the bundle because the dies are 50% off, which I haven't even opened this yet. Oh, here we go. I love cows. All right, so there's the stamp set, red rubber, and I always put my stickers back behind here. I don't put them on my stamps. And then let's open these. I have not opened these yet. I took the plastic off, but I haven't opened them yet. Oh, ooh, fun. Okay. Okie dokie. I love these. And there'll be clouds. And then in the catalog, if they are kind of highlighted with a different color behind them, that means that those images can be cut out with the stamps. Well, this looks like I'll be having some fun soon. Yeehaw! Okay, so let's get to the projects for tonight that I wanted to show you. But these are just some of the things that I ordered from this catalog. I ordered lots more, but I just want to show you those. Okay, here we go. Tonight, as I said, we will be creating using the Dandy Garden 6x6 Designer Series paper, which this is all I have left. I have been working so hard to use up my paper of this particular pack. I made it my goal and I will succeed. So I had a bunch of littler pieces and there they are. Okay, so I started with those. I started with smaller pieces and I created some cards. So let me show you what I did. Here's one. I had some little pieces and I just arranged them so they were pretty. And I took the Happy Thoughts Thank You and our double oval punch, which is in our annual catalog, and used that. And I haven't done any of the insides yet because I'm doing all the outsides, then I want to do the insides. And here's that gorgeous Blackberry Bliss ribbon. And what I did is I went ahead and wrapped it all the way around just because that's unexpected. And they're going to open the card and be like, oh, there's ribbon in there too. Okay. And then the ends are under here. Okay. What's another one? I just threw some scraps together. Here's another one. I just had a bunch of scraps and different widths, lengths, sizes. So I just arranged them on the card. I threw some of this, trim, which is in the, wow, Flowers for All Seasons. I think it's retired, but it's the Misty Moonlight. This is actually a dragonfly from the DSP that I punched out using the Dragonfly Punch. And I needed a bunch of thank you cards, so that's why these were all thank you cards. Except for this one. I'll show you this one. This is a card I made using TX Stampin' Sharon Armstrong. There we go, Sharon Armstrong. Had to go through the whole thing before I could think of her last name. Sharon Armstrong on Mondays has mystery stamping, and I like to do those along with her. And this is what I created using this yesterday's, actually, So I used scraps. Since I had scraps, I just used some scraps up. So that's the only happy birthday one. I made the rest are thank you. But I want to create one right now in front of you. I found some scraps and yeah. So a lot of times our card fronts are 5 1/4 by 4, which leaves, if you're using 6 by 6 paper, a 2-inch strip. And sometimes we forget to use our little 2-inch strips. So that's what I will be using tonight. I had 2 2-inch strips left. So I cut them down to 5 1/4 and a piece of basic white, which is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue them on there. So I will just sit here until this entire pack of paper is gone. And I can't wait to get started with those new products I just got in. The 50% off too. I think that's quite a deal. So $5. All right, so I'm gonna do that. I like this measurement of a matte layer. Some people use quarters, and that's what this looks like. I might finish this and then I'll show you the difference. It is up to you, of course. You do whatever you like. I'm just trying to give you ideas for using up your scraps tonight. Okay, so this is what happens when you make the matte layer just 1/8 of an inch bigger. This is what it looks like when you make the matte layer 1/4 of an inch bigger. So you can see just a little bit of difference there. And it's totally up to you. All right, now I'm going to take some Misty Moonlight ribbon that was in our last annual catalog. It is retired, and I'm trying to use it up. So use up what you have. If you have a similar ribbon or a white ribbon or anything, just use it, or a color that coordinates beautifully. Go ahead and use it. So I do this, I do glue dots on the end. And then I'm going to cover up my seam with my ribbon. Okay, I've got a card base of 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 that I have scored at 4 1/4. I'm going to take my bone folder here, give it a good burnish so it stays flat. And this card is actually going to be landscape. I'm going to glue that card front down. Okay, just like that. There we go. All right, set that to the side. While this one dries, I'm going to do some stamping. So I've got a little scrap of basic white that I'm going to do my thank you on. Get out my Misty Moonlight ink pad. And I have mounted my thank you from Happy Thoughts. I've also mounted my thank you for your kindness from the Dragonfly Garden stamp set, which again is on page 25 in the mini catalog. This is actually carrying over though, so you will still be able to get this in the new annual catalog. But I think I'm going to use the Happy Thoughts thank you for now. I'll put it right in the middle. I want to show you a tip in case you don't know this. I use this quite often when my paper is pretty small, right? And I've got, well, I'll show you what happens. If I try to put this in the punch, I can't really hold on to it because it's too small. And there are several different things you can use. I like to use, and I didn't get them out, but they're right here, so let me dig for them. Pardon me as I dig. There we go. I have these little tiny Post-it notes. And I put it on the side, and then I can control my little tiny piece of paper when I want to punch it out. There we go. Okay. And then I can reuse that. All right, so there's my thank you. And next I want to do a dragonfly. I want a little dragonfly on the front of my card. So you know what would have been smart is if I had a scrap piece of Whisper White ready to go. Let's see, I have a smallish piece. There we go. We'll use that one. We will use that one. Okay, my dragonfly is right here. I already have it mounted. I have so many things to show you tonight. My desk is kind of crazy. Okay. Tappy, tappy, tappy. Press. Okay. You know what? I don't like that. Let me try that again. And I always put your tail to the edge of the paper because that's how the punch is. There we go. I like that. His head's a little darker there. Okay, now temporarily I'm done with this. So I'm going to close that up. And I'm going to get out my Wink of Stella. I love to do this on this Dragonfly. Wink of Stella is near the back of the annual catalog. It is a glitter glimmer brush. It just adds a little bit of sparkle to your project. What I like to do is I start in the middle and I get a little bit of the head because it adds a little bit of the Misty Moonlight and helps the color spread along with the shimmer. You'll see what I mean on the wings. See how it kind of picks up a little bit of the Misty Moonlight and drags it along with it. I'll show you up close. Okay, so it kind of carries some of the ink as you color. Right? And you can add as much as you want, as little as you want. If you want more color on the wings, you can dip the edge of the Wink of Stella on the side of your ink pad, or you can use a little bit of refill. I just kind of like that it barely coats it a little bit with the extra color. Okay. Wink of Stella doesn't really pick up on camera, but let's just imagine that you can see that this is really, really sparkly now. Hopefully you can. Okay, moving on. There we go. Now I'm going to get my punch, which there it is. Okay. And it's also going to punch a little white dragonfly out too. And one of the DSPs in this set has that little dragonfly that you can punch out. Whoop, there he is. I'm going to use this guy too, so don't think I'm going to just ignore him. He's cute. All right, so I've got my sparkly dragonfly here. I'm going to take my bone folder, curve its wings a little bit. Like that. I'm going to use my fingernail around the other side of his body so that I'm left with something that looks like this, okay? And his wings kind of come out a little bit. All right, now to put this together, there we go. So I'm going to use two mini dimensionals right here on the back of my dragonfly. 1 and 2, like that. Okay. And my dog is snoring. You can probably hear him. Okay. There we go. So far, so good. Get rid of my dimensional backings. Now, my thank you. Okay. I want it straddling the ribbon, so I'm going to put many dimensionals on top and on bottom. I'm going to get them as close to the edge as I can. I'm going to do 3 on each side. There we go. And notice when I'm pressing down, as I press down, I kind of put it in the middle with my fingernail so that the edges pop up a little bit easier. They're easier to peel off. I've seen some people use like their pokey tool or their pick a tool. I just use my fingernail. Okay, and then we're going to center it and give it a good press in. So there is my quick and easy thank you using scraps, using the 2-inch scraps I already had. All right, so let's do the inside because that's fun. So I have here, let me make sure, yep, it's a 5 1/4 by 4. And I want to keep it landscape. So this is a thank you card. So I like to leave my thank you cards blank as far as like sentiments and stuff. But I do want to add an image on the inside. Let me get my little mini 6x6. I threw the other away because I had used that thing up. All right, so 6x6 grid paper. It will fit in your Stamparatus, but I also just use it here as well because my stamp is bigger than my piece of paper. All right, while I'm getting this stamp-dicated, I just want to remind you that right now until June 14th, which is next Monday, for every order that is over $250, you get an additional $25 in stamping rewards, and that only lasts until next Monday, June 14th. So if you are interested in anything in our current annual catalog or the last chance products in the mini catalog. Make sure you get your orders in. If it's over $250, you'll get an additional 25 bucks to spend an additional product. Okay, so that's what I like to do with the insides. And these little bugs are driving me crazy. Anybody else have that? Because my light is right here. Ugh, and I'm filming at night, so, you know, smart me. Okay, so that will be plenty of room still to write whatever I want to whoever gets this card. Or whomever to whomever. Whomever? I think it's whomever. I'll put a little bit in the middle. Okay, now I did say we're going to use that little white dragonfly, so I haven't forgotten about him yet. Haven't forgotten about him. Okay. He is going to live here. I'm going to put just a touch of glue. Just a little bit, not much. And he's going to live right here on the inside. Okay, so there is my quick and easy using up my scraps from my Garden DSP. Now, I do want to show you the bazillion other examples that I made using scraps. Now, these over here, these will not go to waste. I will use every single last one of these. Okay, but I want to show you some more that I made. Yesterday, I went over to my upline's house and we both crafted, and it was a lot of fun. She did her thing, I did my thing, and we just, you know, sat around and crafted, and it was fun. Okay, so let me show you. So there's one. All right, here's, well, I already showed you those. Okay, here's another one I used. I think this is a 3-inch scrap I had, 2 5/8 or something like that. Okay, so I did the same thing, little piece. I used these small dragonflies from the Dragonfly Garden on the side there. Okay, next. This is 3x4. This is 2 1/4 by 4. Same thing, ribbon, bamity bam. And then here is one almost exactly the same except for different paper down here. Tons and tons of different cards you can make. Here's another one that uses the 2-inch strips. Okay, except instead of this one that I just made, landscape, this one is portrait. Okay, so lots of different options. You just turn it on its side. Okay, so those are all the Misty Moonlights. Let me just get all the rest of the Misty Moonlights out. Here's another one I did. And this one is punched from a DSP. Then I use that accordion again, and a little tiny strip. And are there any more? Yep, and one more I made today. I used the new dies, and I wrote them down. They are called the Scalloped Contour Dies. They're in our annual catalog on page 98 to cut those out. But again, it's 2-inch strips. And then I took the die and I cut out the big part, and I used another one in Misty Moonlight and stuck it in there. And it looks like I need to glue that one just a little bit better. And then I cut out with the smallest of them. I love these dies. They're called Scalloped Contour Dies, and I will show you those in just a second. So those are all the Misty Moonlight ones, including this one, and this one actually has a little bit of Blackberry Bliss. So those are the primarily Misty Moonlight ones. Okay, so let me get those out of the way. Let's count so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Plus, I already sent one. Actually, it's in my mailbox right now, going to be sent out. So that's 11 so far that I've shown you. Well, I didn't show you the other one, but it was basically like this. Okay, let's go to the Blackberry Bliss / Mossy Meadow ones. So this is just a 3x3 square. So technically, if you wanted to use this exact piece of paper, you could make 4 of these. This is Mossy Meadow, and what I did was I used the Tasteful Textile embossing folder on this piece. I used that Blackberry Bliss, the Happy Thoughts, Double Oval Punch, and some retired Blackberry Bliss things that I still had. Now, if you don't have these, that's fine. You can use our rhinestones or our pearls and color them with the Blackberry Bliss Stamp and Blend and turn anything into a Blackberry Bliss. This is one I posted on my Facebook page the other day, Box Star Stamping. Again, I took this strip of paper. This might be my favorite one in the whole pack of paper. And I embossed it with that Tasteful Textile, used the ribbon, used the 3 small dragonflies. Here I just had different sized strips of paper. So the Blackberry Bliss with the Wink of Stella. That color really carried very well. Really spread out. I loved that. Then I took a piece of the Blackberry Bliss ribbon and just tied a little knot there. And again, it's all the way around. Ooh, how did I make this little divot? I took the retired 1/2 inch circle punch and I just barely clipped the edge. So you could get the ribbon in there like that. Okay, let's see, here's another one. Blackberry Bliss and Mossy Meadow. Again, just literally 3 pieces that I had. The ribbon, Dragonfly, and a thank you. Just keeping them simple, but I think they're pretty. Okay, so those are all the predominantly Blackberry Bliss ones. Okay, what is that? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 15. Okay, here are 2 Calypso Coral ones that I made, again, with the 2-inch strips, and they're pretty much exactly the same. This is some retired Calypso Coral ribbon. If you don't have any retired Calypso Coral ribbon, what you could do is take any of our white ribbon and color it with your Calypso Coral blend. Just that easy. So what is that, 15, 16, 17? 17 that I've made so far. Here come the Bumblebee ones. All right, let's start with this one. Again, 2-inch strips. And this was out of the paper. This is retired, it just retired, so you might have it. Bumblebee ribbon. Again, if you don't have it, we don't have a Bumblebee blend, but what you could do is take white ribbon and use your Daffodil Delight, and it's pretty close, or your So Saffron, it would work. Here is another one using Bumblebee. And another one, and these are like exactly the same. Then for these, I kind of made like little quilt cards. 9 patch cards. And then I used the recently retired in color enamel little dots and put them in the corners right there. And a tiny little dragonfly that I used the punch to cut out of one of the pieces of DSP. And I used the little dragonflies and made a little background for that one. For this one, I did a little bit different. I added a strip and I added some of Bumblebee ones, but I used cinnamon cider here. So just whatever. Was that 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23? I believe that's 23 cards that I have recently made, and I have used this paper for a year now, and over a year now. Yeah. And I've made so many cards with it, and I still have all this. So I'm excited to finish that puppy up. Okay, moving on to something else. I want to show you my strips. Here we go. When I make cards and I cut a little strip off of a color, it goes in this. And it's full of little tiny strips of paper. And every once in a while, I have a scrap party and I just make a whole bunch of card fronts using just my tiny, usually 1/2 inch or smaller strips of cardstock. So I want to show you some that I have made, and then I'm going to show you a project that is so easy to make using them. Okay, so we'll start with this one. Just kind of went for some different angles. This is just jade and very vanilla. And then this measurement is, I just cut a piece of basic white in 3 3/4 by 5. I use my silicone mat and I glue them all down. And then you go around the back with some scissors you don't care about. Again, I use my sticky scissors, and you go around and you cut the edges off and you're left with something like that. Generally, what I do is I run this through some sort of embossing folder, or sometimes I don't. So that one is just jade and very vanilla. Next, I just used varying widths of a bunch of different colors. I don't know what this one's going to be yet. I don't know. I just had some fun. Glued some pieces of paper down. Here I tried to go with pinks and purples and blues, a little bit of gray. This will look very pretty embossed. I haven't done that yet, but we'll get to it. Okay, another blues and purples. This one I love, rainbow with very vanilla. Love that one. This is rich raspberry and pear pizzazz. Don't know why I had such wide strips of rich raspberry. Must have made something. Don't know what I'm going to do with that yet, but I'll do something. Here's some rich raspberry with very vanilla. Here are different shades of yellows and oranges with very vanilla. Apparently I had lots of very vanilla strips, so using that. Here are different shades of purple and pink with very vanilla. A gradient, all the way from Blackberry Bliss. This is Fresh Fig, Rich Raspberry. This is Berry Burst. These two are retired. Oh, that's retired too. Rococo Rose. I think that's Blushing Bride and Petal Pink, I think. All right, Night of Navy and very vanilla. Now, I did have a seam here, like my paper bent, but that's okay because I know when I emboss this, that will disappear, so I'm not worried about that. Here is Pale Papaya and very vanilla. Different greens. Different reds and pinks. And then one more, different greens. Okay, so even though they're both different greens, they look different. So I'm gonna have fun with those. Now the last few are, oh no, here's one that's not quite so weird. Okay, red and black. Okay, these last few are just kind of weird. And I just threw a bunch of stuff together and just had some fun. I love bright colors. I love colors. The more the merrier. So I just kind of went crazy with these and had some fun. This one turned out pretty cool. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to take one of these that I have set aside already that I haven't shown you yet, and I'm going to make a card with it and show you how you can use your scraps and make a beautiful card that nobody will know, hey, she used scraps to make that. No, they'll be like, wow, that's a really pretty card. Okay, so let me show you what I'm going to use. In the new annual catalog, I'm going to be using, well, I already used the color and contour, the scalloped contour dies, and they're shown down here on page 98, but let's go to 158 because they're bigger on page 158. A little bit bigger, okay? And we are going to be using some of those. And then the stamp set I'm going to be using is Quiet Meadow. And I will be using this die as well. Quiet Meadow. I love it. It just speaks to me. Let's see, what else are we using? I've marked everything. Oh yeah. The ribbon on page 139. One of my favorite ribbons is the glittered Organdy black ribbon. So pretty. We'll be using that. And, well, we already used it. The double oval punch on 150. Okay, moving on. Let's make this thing. All right, I have everything for this up here. Hopefully nothing falls off as I bring it closer to me. We'll see. One way to find out, right? So that's Pale Papaya in black. And I used a bunch of Pale Papaya to make some wedding things for my cousin who got married a week and a half ago. So that's why I have lots of Pale Papaya right now. So I've got my card base of 5.5 by 8.5. Again, this was a piece of basic white that was 3 3/4 by 4. And then I laid my strips down and I cut around. I've got a matte layer of 5 1/4 by 4. So that will go there. Okay. Got an inside and a matte layer for that as well. All right, so I used this beautiful stamp and the thinking of you. And I wanted this to be kind of monochromatic, so I stamped it on Pale Papaya and used one of the dies from the Scalloped Contour dies to cut it out. Didn't figure you needed to watch me do that. Okay. Then I used the Thinking of You stamp and used one of the dies that comes in the Quiet Meadow bundle and cut that out. Okay. Then this little guy, I wanted to show you him. This is using one of the dies in the Quiet Meadow, and this is our shimmer in color vellum. He is going to live on one of our flowers, and he's adorable, and it's so shiny. And then I also used this die and cut out a black butterfly. So we're kind of like silhouetting. So he's gonna live on the front as well. All right, so let me assemble this card. And then I want to show you how I'm going to cover up a mistake as well, because, you know, sometimes that happens. Sometimes mistakes happen. Okay, so put some glue on my layer here, just like that. Get it centered and give it a press. Don't press down until you are confident it is where you want it to be. All right, I am going to glue this one down as well, and then I'll show you the mistake that I made. I used Memento Tuxedo Black ink to stamp this on the pale papaya and get it as centered as I can on the sides. I'll leave a little, you know, it's not centered this way, but I want it that way. Okay. Now, Memento Tuxedo Black ink takes a little bit of time to dry. And I apparently didn't watch out for that. And I smudged it right here. I don't know if you can see that. But, oh, my dog, I gotta give him a little nudge. He's snoring. Okay, so there's a little smudge right there, and that would bother me a lot. So I was planning on putting this down here, but now it's gonna live right there. And I'm gonna put my ribbon over it as well. So anytime you smudge, if you have options, you can use, there are little erasers that sometimes you can get it off with, although that sometimes rips your paper, or you can cover it up with an embellishment or something. And that's what I'm choosing to do, because I was gonna put it, you know, closest to there anyway. Okay, there we go. I think I'm gonna put it in the center. Yep. Yes, like that. Okay, now to attach this, I would highly recommend that you don't use dimensionals, because if you use dimensionals on this, it's not gonna go well. So you have two options. You can use the green glue, or you can use dimensionals, but you're gonna need to use glue on the dimensionals. So actually, I think I'm gonna do that. I'll show you how you do that. So I'm just gonna use my dimensionals. Ah. There we go. And then I'm not gonna stick them down yet, because I want the dimension, but I also want it to stick to my paper. So I'm gonna put glue on the dimensionals, because that will go through the ribbon onto the paper underneath of it. Okay? I need a little closer to me. Hopefully you can still see. Okay. There we go. Make sure it is where I want it. There we go. Now, to keep it there for a second, I'm going to go ahead and put a punch over the top of it. All right, I'll go ahead and take a second, and I'll do the inside. While that is adhering, I will go ahead and do the inside. All right, burnish my card base. My inside is, let's see here. Because this was 3 3/4 by 5, I chose to make my inside piece 3 3/4 by 5. And apparently I got a little something on this. Must have spilled a little something. So whoop, we're gonna use this side. That's okay. Looks like I need to replace my cutting blade. I'll wipe some of the edges off. All right, so what was I doing with this one? Need this, need that. This time, I'm going to take from the Quiet Meadow, since the front says thinking of you, the inside's gonna say heartfelt love and caring thoughts are with you. So this would be a great card to give to someone who's going through a rough time, or it could even be a sympathy card. Okay, so I've got my pale papaya, I've got it on my block, and I have not tested it to make sure it's straight yet. So I'm gonna do that real quick, just to make sure. Okay, I thought it was pretty good, but you never know, you never know. All right, stick it there. Okay, and then what I decided, I love these little flowers. So I mounted this one on the littlest block, and I'm gonna put it in the corners. One's gonna live there, and one's gonna live there. Happy little flower in the corner. And one's gonna live there. Okay, they are not perfect, and neither am I, so it is okay. All right, we're gonna mat that on a 5 1/4 by 4 piece of basic black. And again, that will match my matte layer on the front of the card. That's why I chose these measurements. All right, we are almost done using up our scraps. Okay. So you take some scraps, you take a beautiful stamp set, and you create anything you want. Use up those scraps. So tonight's cards are using scraps. If it is a 1/4 inch wide or bigger, I save it for this very reason. All right, that should have had time to set up. So now we will drop it and put it on our card front. Good grief, almost stuck it in the middle. Wouldn't that have been funny? I tell you what. Okay, now we have our little butterflies left. Okay, so this one, again, is gorgeous. He is going to live right here. And I've noticed with this vellum that glue is harder to see than the regular vellum. So I'm going to actually use my Tombow Glue. And I'm going to use just a tiny, tiny bit. And I'm going to make sure it is smooth. Okay, so I'm not squeezing anymore. I'm just spreading the glue. Okay, so there is enough on there. And this glue is crazy strong. So I'm going to get it right there. He's going to live on that flower. Use my bone folder and press him down. Okay, so he is there. And then my black butterfly I was going to pop up. I'm going to bend his wings up just a little bit. And actually, I'm going to put 2 small black mini dimensionals on him. So actually, maybe just 1. We'll see. Okay, so if you don't know, we also have black dimensionals, and I like to use it for stuff like this. So let's see, will 2 fit? Probably not. Okay, so we'll just use 1. Okay, he is going to live right there. Oh, okay, how pretty is that? So we've got thinking of you, and then heartfelt love and caring thoughts are with you. All right, so that was entirely made of scraps. And even this was, these were scraps. I didn't cut into a new piece of paper except for the background, the card base. And I've lost my lid. Anybody see my lid? There it is. Okay, it's over here. Phew! All right, I'm a hot mess tonight, literally, because it's like 90 degrees, but you know. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. Again, there is a special going on until the 14th, where if you place an order over $250, you get an additional $25 worth of additional product for free. And I also want to say you have until June 10th to subscribe to Paper Pumpkin to get the awesome new set that I can't wait to see what it is. And I thought I had that out. I don't. But you can check it out at paperpumpkin.com and you can see what the new set, they're giving you kind of spoilers, and it matches the Artistically Ink Suite, and I can't wait. And it's going to have two Stampin' Ink spots. So, all right, so let me find the card I made in this. Was it this one? Nope, wasn't that one. Look at all these though. Look at all these. Which one did I make tonight? It was this one, wasn't it? I think so. Okay, so in addition to all of these cards using scraps of the Dandy Garden DSP, I still have, again, tons and tons and tons and tons and tons more to create with. I will use them all. All right, to see my progress in that, please follow me on Boxstar Stamping on Facebook, and I will keep posting cards as I make them and maybe inspire you to use up your scraps. It doesn't have to be the Dandy Garden DSP. You can use any DSP you have around. And then hopefully this will inspire you to use up your scraps. Again, I still have all of these to play with. And I will be posting these as I use them too on my Facebook page, Box Star Stamping. So if you could give me a like and a follow there, that would be awesome. If you are watching the replay on YouTube, if you could give me a like and subscribe, that would be awesome. When I get to 200 subscribers on Facebook, I am going to do a huge giveaway. So woot! So please go ahead and do that if you haven't. And I will let you know about the giveaway when I get really close to 200 subscribers. All right. So again, thank you so much for watching. Have a fabulous day, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.